Okay, so lots of people play gacha games and they're very popular, and which is why I made this tweet. So it says here, why do you play gacha games? There are lots of negatives surrounding them, but I want to know everyone's take on them. This is for a video. And I left just gacha game examples. By the way, when I was making the thumbnail for this, why do all the gacha game icons look the same? All the icons look the same. It's just got like anime girls on them. People aren't gonna exclusively talk about these four. I haven't even played this one. But I just use these as examples for the tweet or whatever. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know, do you play gacha games? If so, which one do you play? Which are your favorites? Which ones do you stay clear from? And I mean, answer the question yourself. Why do you play them? But yeah, I just thought this would be an interesting thing to ask because of how popular these games actually are. And the interesting thing is, right, they're really popular, and this is the part I don't get. They're really popular, but they're notorious. They're infamous. They have negative connotations surrounding them. And when I think of gacha games, I usually think of the bad parts. Which is funny, because why do these games see so much play and so much popularity and make so much money if everyone claims they don't like them? Or like everyone unanimously agrees that for the most part these games are bad and you should stay clear of them. That's the part I don't get. But today we're gonna read some replies. Obviously, thank you very much to everyone who showed love on this tweet or whatever. There are a lot of replies, so I'm not gonna get to everyone. I'm just gonna go over the main ones. And I imagine quite a few of them will be a little bit derivative of each other. So you might see like 5, 6, 7, 8 people say basically the same thing. You know, we'll see. Let me know your thoughts, whoever. And yeah, let's just go through this. This is just like a vibing kind of thing we're doing. Usually because it's fun sometimes. And Dokkan is the only one that treats me well. Okay. I imagine, by the way, I'm just going to say right now, just because of the following I have, just because most of the people that know me, Dragon Ball. Most of this will be Dragon Ball, I imagine, but you know. We'll see. And they just links like summoning. So I imagine a lot of it is gonna deal with opening packs, summoning, stuff like that, you know. I'll say for DBL because of the fun to fight with each other's friends and talking about the game, possible new units and how they would work, what new mechanics they could create, and just helping other people get into the game. So this person likes the community aspect of gachas, like always anticipating what's coming next, always theorizing what they could do to shake up a game or whatever. This makes sense because obviously gacha games, basically, they are live service, right? They have to keep going for pretty much ever. I mean, that makes sense. I feel like that's for every game though. Well, no, just for any live service game, really. But I guess it's because gacha games, the barriers to entry is pretty much non-existent. Everyone has a phone, not everyone has a console. Everyone can afford free, you know what I mean? So, you know, this does make sense to me as an answer, fair. There's two reasons. One being because it's my favorite series and Dragon Ball makes the games enjoyable, and seeing my favorite characters and the animation / kits be so good and so fun makes the enjoyment 10 times better. Okay, and then what's the other reason? Because the gachas I play are extremely simple, Legends and Dokkan as examples. They don't have the flaw of modern gachas, where you have to grind an absurd amount of materials just for them to be usable, which I really find makes the experience better. Now, I don't know if I agree. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I kind of... Maybe, okay, so I don't play many gacha games at all, really. In my experience, from all the gachas I played, these games are all grindy, though. Is it a thing where, like, newer games are more grind-heavy than the older games? Obviously, I know Dokkan's been around forever. Legends just reached 6 years, so I guess you can consider that long. But does that mean that just because the games are older, the gacha games are older? I don't know if that's true, I'm not gonna lie. Obviously, I don't know. Comment down below if you know. But I'm really not sure about that, if I'm being honest. That's fair enough. I do get the whole thing with, like, because it's Dragon Ball, that lures you in. I feel like the IP does carry a lot of weight to people, and I do agree with the sentiment of if a gacha game is made up of just an IP that I really like, then I'm gonna be more interested in it. Or I would look in its direction when I otherwise wouldn't, basically. I play specific gacha because it's a Dragon Ball IP. Yeah, basically, you know. Haven't played other gachas, don't really plan to in the near future. You get a like out of me for that. Hey, me personally, I wouldn't recommend gachas to anyone. I mean, let me know if you would. Me personally, I wouldn't. I agree with this, actually. This is the realest answer so far, fair enough. I only play Dokkan and Legends. It's basically a case of getting shafted like in the other games, crying and switching to the second game and repeat. Okay, but why? Why go through that? You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand that. Why would you put yourself through that when you could basically just play anything else and just have a better time? That's the part I don't get. And I guess this is just for people that play multiple games, multiple gacha games. What's the point? I don't see the point. Because, like, if you're getting shafted and you don't like that, and you switch to the other ones to hopefully get more lucky, what happens if you're not lucky there either? If you are lucky, then fair, then that kind of answers itself. But if you're not, then why not just play a game like a proper game? You know what I mean? I like playing Dragon Ball games. I know I'm a way to play gacha. It just happens that the IP I like has one. That's fair. Again, that's kind of like something similar that we've already talked about. I feel like if I mentioned this before. Like, if Legends wasn't Dragon Ball, I wouldn't play it. If Dokkan wasn't Dragon Ball, I wouldn't even look in the direction of it. If Duel Links wasn't Yu-Gi-Oh, I wouldn't try it. Like, the IP holds a lot of weight. But then there is also a case of like, there are people that get into a game because of the gacha. Like well, like, I guess it could be a thing where like you get put onto the brand. Like, I think when I first discovered Grand Blue, which is like a fighting game or whatever by Oxys, it was free for a month on PlayStation Plus, so I tried it. It was kind of whatever. I think Rising is good now, but I haven't really played that. And then I actually found out that it was based on a gacha game, which completely turned me off. And a more recent case with the Persona OST reaction, I guess to spoil it. I found out that I watched an intro to a game and I was like, oh, this intro is amazing. And then I got told that it was a gacha game and that immediately turned me off. Like, so it's like, the IP holds a lot of weight. It can bring you in, it can put you onto something that you otherwise wouldn't see. But, I mean, I feel like when I hear that something's a gacha game, my excitement completely, like, gets removed. You know what I mean? But fair, I do get this. I do understand this. Gambling addiction? I feel like this is the answer for a lot of people. A better explanation is because it's fun, mostly. Legends, I hate, but it's my go-to gambling addiction game. Dokkan, I really enjoy it when there's new fights and content, it calms me down. Also play, I don't know what HSR is, which I find to be honest, I find really fun as I like turn-based games. Okay, you know, it's funny, right? Because, like, I thought the whole gambling addiction thing was a joke, but I ain't gonna lie. It's real. It's real. It's really real. Okay, Honkai Star Rail, that's what it is. Okay. I think there needs to be a mix between good IP and good game. What game do you consider to do that, though? Dokkan, I just like the game in general. Have been playing for 8 years and don't plan on stopping anytime soon. I love PvP games and Dragon Ball and a Dragon Ball PvP game, my favorite pair. So, okay, so this is just a case of like the gacha game's gameplay is like just satisfying what you want, so it doesn't matter. So this is a case where it's like for Legends anyway, you don't care. This is just what I'm getting at. I could be wrong. This person's saying like you don't care about the gacha element, you just care about the gameplay. Legends being what it is cool. Fair enough. Okay, that makes sense. So far, I've been seeing a lot of like in the Twitch chat earlier as well during the stream. I asked a little bit. It seems like people come for the gacha part first and then the gameplay secondary. I guess for this person it's completely different. The gameplay comes first. Okay, that's cool. I understand that. I just played Legends since the game that got me into Dragon Ball as a whole during the first anniversary. I love seeing the animation. Same goes for Dokkan. Fair, okay. Games can be flashy or whatever, I hear that. I feel like I play it because it's Dragon Ball. I legit don't feel... Oh my gosh, I can't speak. I've been live for a while. I legit don't bother touching any other gacha games besides Legends and Dokkan. They are pretty fun games when you got nothing else to do in the meantime, and the collective purposes of these games is a bit enjoyable. Okay, you know what? That's something that we haven't touched on yet, and you know what? I agree. I'll agree with this. I can't lie. The act of indulging in, you know what I mean, summons and all that, and like collecting stuff. Bro, I grew up with Pokemon, man. Like, I know the feeling. I know the feeling of just saying, yo, I want that. You know what I mean? I don't collect shoes. I just buy a lot of them because I like them. A lot of people misconstrue that. People say that I do collect them, but I don't. I guess getting as much of what you like as possible and then collecting them and all that, like, I get it. You know what I mean? I understand that. I'm surprised that no one's mentioned that yet. No, I get that. I can't lie. And again, it's just, the IP holds a lot of weight. So that's like a really prominent feature so far. And yeah, the idea of collecting things or whatever. I feel like a lot of people like collecting things in general. So I get it. Like, I do get that. In all seriousness, gacha games like Dokkan have really good animations. It's all on the comfort of your phone. Most of them involve unlocking. Yeah, so this is just more of the same, right? Where it's like, also, I guess, being on a phone, which means no barrier to entry, because let's be real, nowadays everyone has a everyone has a phone, you know what I mean? But not everyone has a console. So I feel like that's a big distinction between like I don't want to call it a regular game, but like a console game compared to a gacha game. It's easier for someone to get into a gacha game because there's no barrier to entry. You don't have to pay for it. You already have the device that it's on. So, you know, and just, you know, the whole collecting aspect. So, you know, I mainly play them because they were with me growing up. I have a connection to them. Duel Links and Dokkan, those are what got me in. And while there are negatives, I've been enjoying Legends a lot recently. I play them because they can be fun. Okay. Fair. Again, like, here's the thing, right? I just want to make this clear. If I disagree with anyone who says anything, and whether or not I agree or disagree, don't take that as the be all end all. This is all very opinionated. I can disagree and say, oh, I don't find Dokkan that fun. You know, I just like the summoning. You know what I mean? It doesn't diminish someone who actually just says, yo, I think it's fun, so I play it. You know what I mean? I want to make that very clear. There's nothing that people could really say in this conversation that's wrong. You know what I mean? I just want to make that very clear. So yeah, I completely get this. And sometimes, bro, the best answers are the simple ones. If you find it fun, what other reason do you really need? You know what I mean? That's what games are for. So, you know. I do like this as an answer, though. But yeah. They're simply to pass time. I like playing them on a train on a long ride home. So, okay. I feel like this is the first one where it actually goes into the aspects of like being a mobile game. Well, I guess the other, I think Naz's reply said that too. Kind of. Now, here's the thing for me, right? I'm not gonna disagree, but I'm just gonna say this is something that I have a different opinion on, where it's like, I guess the reason I don't get into gachas and just mobiles in general, right? Mobile games in general, is because, when I think of playing games, I think of something, that is something I do when I get home. This is just how I think. Obviously, feel free to correct me. I know that this is, not the be-all, end-all, obviously, because I know, come on. But, like, quite literally, games on the phone wouldn't exist if people don't want to play games while they're outside. Handheld consoles wouldn't exist if people didn't want to do that, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, me personally, when I go outside, the last thing on my mind is playing games. So I guess that's why I don't really, resonate with mobile games that much. And by extension, gacha games. So that's not really a gacha thing, that's more of a mobile thing. But yeah, I feel like a lot of people would relate to this though. Being able to quickly like have a low effort thing to do on your phone to pass time. I will admit, there have been quite a few times where I'm in the middle of waiting for something while I'm out. Maybe a gacha game would have helped make the time go faster. I'm not gonna lie, maybe it would. You know what I mean? And while I sat there checking messages or like doing other things, maybe I could have been playing a gacha game. Maybe the time would have been faster, you know what I mean? So yeah, nah, I think this is a very valid thing to say. I only really played Dokkan, used to play Blazing and Legends. Blazing is that Naruto one that got shut down, right? I remember that being brought up in a stream before. Mainly for the mechanics and satisfaction where they match together well. Some of my favorite characters in Dokkan weren't even in consideration until they came out and I saw how they ebbed and flowed. So, what do you mean by this? Are you saying that the game put you onto a character that you didn't really care about? And I guess that's why he has Pycon here? Or I could be wrong, you know what I mean? It's just how I interpret it. I'm guessing this person is saying, like, for example, someone like Pycon, they didn't care about him, but then the game put him on. In which case, good. Like, good, because Pycon is sick. I always liked Pycon, so, hey, I respect that, I'm glad. I'm glad that Dokkan did something good for you and put you onto PyCon. Fair enough. So, okay. I guess that's another aspect to it, where these games can show, shed light on characters from an IP that you don't really appreciate enough. Fair enough. Okay. I think it's Dokkan didn't have their favorite character. To me, I'm reading it as some of my favorite characters in Dokkan weren't even in consideration until they came out, and I saw how they had. I think. I don't know. Fair enough there. I just like again. Remember what I said earlier about like most of these replies are gonna be Dragon Ball because of obviously who knows me and all that. I'm gonna tell you right now, this isn't exclusive to Dragon Ball, by the way. If you play a different gacha game, please let me know. But yeah, I like Dragon Ball. Only other gacha I play are Pokemon Masters and PRSK. Don't know what that is. And I completely ignore the gacha aspect of PRSK. I just like seeing my box fill up with my favorite. Pause. Fill up with my favorite characters over a slow, low investment time period. Okay. Again, so this is more of like the whole collection aspect. It's interesting you say you completely ignore the gacha aspects of that game. I don't know what that is. So okay, so there's quite a few people that treat these games as just like a thing that you basically just collect stuff, and like it's a thing that just you pop in, pop out. Over time you accumulate characters or whatever. I get that. And I guess it feeds into the whole like Pokemon thing, you know what I mean? It's kinda like catching Pokemon and all that, filling out a Pokedex, you know what I mean? Like that's what I've used that as an example before, I think, but that is kind of what I'm getting the vibe of, you know what I mean? Also, the amount of people with the thank you Toriyama W's, I ain't gonna lie, W. In my case, I love Dragon Ball. Dokkan has to be a gacha, that's all. Fair. I play them because I like the series. I play Dragon Ball gachas and Yu-Gi-Oh gachas because I loved their series. Yep, okay. Makes sense. Legends is the closest thing I can play a mobile Dragon Ball fighting game. DBFZ mobile port when? Never. But, again, that makes sense. Not everyone has a console, you know what I mean? So gacha games can just be a thing to play. And in which case, if I didn't have a console, Dragon Ball Legends seems really good. I'm not gonna lie, that seems like a really good game. I'm not gonna lie. So, no, I get this. I completely understand this. Yeah. Hell yeah. This feeling I get from pulling what I wanted is amazing. Okay, so this is just like... this is just like you're satisfying your dopamine. I ain't gonna lie. Fairs, I get that. For the fun of it, yeah. I don't know. That's the real winner of today. Mainly Dokkan because I don't have to spend my entire attention on it. It's great to have it in the background while I watch other movies or anime. That's why I despise Legends, because not only does it require me to pay attention, it's not even fun while making it. Okay. So this is like, you prefer... So the reason you play gacha games is because they are low priority. It's just like a thing to have in the background while you're doing other things. I get that. I actually do get that. Is it a little bit TikTok brain, you know what I mean? Like TikTok attention span, maybe? I don't know. I feel like this is before TikTok brain rot and all that. I feel like this is what people were doing anyways, you know what I mean? So I don't know. Some people got... I don't know if this is an attention span thing. I actually don't think so. I think this is just a general thing. I think this is just having something to do in the background while you're doing other things is something that everyone does, I feel like, so not really. But nah, I completely understand this. And you know what? It's interesting that you contrast that with why another gacha game doesn't work for you, because Legends does require you to pay all your attention. Legends isn't really something that you can do that with. So that's I actually like that you contrasted it like that, yeah. So then a gacha game would need to be low priority in order for you to enjoy it. And when they're not, it turns you... Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Fair play. It's like, you know, chilling. Yeah, I get that. I don't play gacha specifically. You know, okay, one thing about this, right? I can relate to that because, while I play games, I guess I do the opposite where, like, I'll have a YouTube video in the background that I'm listening to. So it's kind of basically just the same thing. I don't play gacha specifically. I just like playing free games like Geometry Dash, SAS3, Zombie Assault, or Clash Royale. To pass the time or dick around with the boys. Pause. Dokkan just fell into that until they evolved into better than the original animations and godly OSTs. Okay. Fair enough, okay. That makes sense to me. That's valid. As like DBO and Dokkan because they're Dragon Ball games. Yeah, remember what I said about a lot of these are going to be quite derivative of each other, you know what I mean? It is what it is. Just IP carry, basically. Without for that, I wouldn't have even gone into playing them in the first place. Yeah, okay. I agree with this, by the way. I only play Legends, and even though they're all pretty bad in terms of the gambling part of it, Legends probably the best out of all of them. Really? I feel like... depends on who you ask. Depends on who you ask, I guess. Yo, comment down below in Twitch chat, let me know. What do you think is the best gacha game of all time? Like, what is the #1 gacha game? I don't even know. I feel like that's one of them things where there isn't really a unanimous option. Because I feel like the gambling part of it is like, all these gacha games are built on that. So I don't really know how you can... I guess it's just the free-to-play side. Like, if the free-to-play side is good enough, then it kind of eases up the gambling bit. But, you know, said Legends rates are dog shit. Kind of biased with Dokkan. I mean, everyone's going to be biased with their answer. I think, just say whatever you want, I guess. If it's Dokkan, it's Dokkan. If it's not, it's not. Fair enough, though. I get this. I feel like people are going to disagree a lot with this part, though. But, you know, Legends and sometimes Dokkan because I grew up playing them and watching Dragon Ball. I didn't really like Dokkan at first, and I found Legends because it was a PvP-centric game and I love PvP games. Okay. By the way, is Legends the only PvP gacha game? Because I'm seeing a lot of people say like, oh, I just like PvP games. And just having a PvP game that's easily accessible is great. Is it the only one? Or is it just... I guess it's mainly probably just because most people follow me that are Dragon Ball fans or whatever. So, what is the Dragon Ball gacha game? Legends, you know what I mean? So I guess that's why. But, you know, fair enough. I pressed the wrong thing. Whoops. There we go. Okay. Yeah, okay. I only have a phone and DBL is the only good game I found. Even if I found something else, I think I'm addicted. Even though it negatively affects my game. Negatively affects my mental health. Okay, in that case, stop! What the... Whoa, hold on. What the... Whoa. Okay. My friend, stop. If it's negatively affecting your mental health, quit. I know you're addicted, but like, bro, what? Quit. Okay, no. If anyone feels this way, quit. What the hell? Quit. What? Also, what's that Bleach game? I think it's Brave Souls. I think that's what the name of it. I haven't played it, but you know, I just put it there as an example. Genuinely an addiction. Oh, wow. You guys are a lost cause. You guys are actually a lost cause. Oh my days. Oh wow, okay. I just like the thrill of getting new characters and testing them out on old and new events. I like the animations, caught art and OST, played a few gachas, but I only like Dokkan now. Legends felt annoying to me and I stopped at the 3rd anniversary. I stopped at the 2nd and then came back at the 5th, basically. Okay, fair. Again, like, the thrill of getting a new character, yeah, that makes sense. I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like the #1 aspect of a gacha game is the fact that they're trying to make you addicted. They're trying to get you on this rush. The dopamine rush of getting your character. Because people will look at this and just smile, you know what I mean? Like, people will look at a screenshot like this and just smile. And that's how they get you, you know what I mean? That's kind of what the games are built upon, so, you know, makes sense. Play them because Dragon Ball, yup. And they make Gogeta sexy as hell. I mean... Okay, alright. The Vegito Bell. They're great ways to pass time. Also, working your own account from the ground up feels like a huge achievement. You know what? Okay, the great way to pass time, yeah, okay. And working your own account from the ground up feels like a huge achievement. I feel that. I ain't gonna lie. I get that. I understand that a lot. Working building up your account in any game to a level where it's like something you look at and you're like, yeah, I did that. I feel like that's, yeah. I feel like that makes complete sense. Now, I'm trying to think of, I've done that with like, Borderlands. I don't know if any of you guys have played Borderlands before. I've done that with Borderlands. When I look at like my build and all the stuff I grind for and all that. I feel that. I feel that sentiment. I understand that. In some games, I like the story. Like, what get? Oh, I really wish. Oh man. Oh, I wish this person gave examples. Because what gacha games have a good story? Like, who's playing a gacha game for the story? What? That's interesting. Okay. I really wish this person gave an example, actually. I'm curious about that. First time I've heard someone say that. Gambling jokes aside, I love hoarding materials and in-game currencies. Okay, yeah. Play Borderlands. Choosing some characters I want, pulling for them. Also, gacha games are usually free. Yeah, again, no barrier to entry, you know what I mean? So that's good. They're really easy to try out, I guess. Give out constant quality content until their end of service. Okay, yeah. Zero sniper build was so fun. My god, I didn't know people who watch me like Borderlands. Anyways, nah, that's made me happy. Anyways, yeah. So, my advice to you is play Borderlands, but yeah, and obviously gacha games are live service games. They obviously have to constantly keep your attention. So they are games where like there's always something. I was gonna say there's always something going on, but that's not necessarily true. But you know, that's not necessarily true all the time. But I understand if like there's something to look forward to every month. Oh, what are they gonna do this month? What character's showing up next month? What event is going on? Like, I get that. That makes sense. Okay, I like that. Gambling, okay, yeah. For the plot, Genshin. Wait, so Genshin has a story? Wait, Genshin has a good story? And the other plot? Alright, bro. Well, I'm pretty sure we all know what he's talking about. Better to gamble with fake money than real money. I mean, that's very true. Now, listen, I am 100% against gambling. You should never do that. But if you need to satisfy your urge that bad, doing it in a way that isn't harmful to you, doing it with fake money instead of real money, fine. If you have to, then fine. But yeah, I am 100% against gambling, by the way, very much so. But you know, okay. Gambling and also because some people go, I play DB on Dokkan from DB franchise. Yeah, want to play as my favorite characters. Main reason because it's a game series I love, which in default makes me passionate about it. It's nothing new that gacha games sometimes are bad, especially when you try and pull a character. If it's your favorite, I'm always free to play, but I feel like people who get upset when they don't get their unit, especially if you spend a lot of money for them, which is number one negative. Yeah, again, it's like the risk of spending a lot of time on something and getting nothing to show for it is really annoying and really frustrating to me. And me personally, I hate when I get like when unfortunate stuff happens that's completely out of my control where I couldn't improve. Like there's nothing to improve on like in a game like a gacha game, you know what I mean? Like what do you improve? Like what, summon better? Like, you know what I mean? Like I don't know. That's something I really don't like. In general, I just love playing gachas because of how much they got to offer. Yeah, they are packed with content, I'll give you that. If it's specifically from, okay, yeah, brand IP or whatever, brand attachment, yeah, makes sense. Just gonna go through the quick ones now. Because Dragon Ball, yeah, so IP, gambling, Dragon Ball, cinematics, okay. Dragon Ball, never really spent money on them, okay. Gambling, thinks the games are fun. Sunken cost fallacy, I don't know what that is, those are words. Playing since just after first anime, been trapped in, ever since can't escape too far in. Okay, so addiction got you. Dokkan the only one with Kaioken Goku, I guess. Just be bored sometimes. Play anything else with fun, animations and meta, love summoning, rolling, whatever, the rush. Okay. I'm addicted to kill time. W Vegio. That's the fusing one, right? Yeah. I think? No, that is the fusing one, yeah. Gambling addiction, gamble. Oh my. Bro, do what? Did someone use the same? Oh my gosh. Alright, we're pretty much rounding this out now. Fair enough. I like playing games with IPs I like, even if gachas are objectively bad. Glad someone said it. Why did it take so long for someone to say that? Okay, you know what? I agree, and maybe this is one of the things where you can't say something is objectively bad. Me personally, I feel like yes, you can for gacha games. I think gacha games are objectively bad because they are built to be predatory. They are built to take your money. The reason they aren't free is because the price tag comes after you install it. That's just the way I think. Because here's my thing, a lot of these games are built on like, get your money first, worry about the gameplay second. You know what I mean? Like, the gameplay, the actual like thing you're doing, usually is the afterthought. The main thought is enticing you with the flashiness, getting you to get into the thrill of like summoning, opening packs, you know, stuff like that. I feel like that's always at the forefront for these games, so obviously that's what they are. And why would you play a game where the gameplay isn't the main priority? You know what I mean? But then it's like, you have situations where people like gacha games because the two go hand in hand, where like the gameplay or the characters you get, the summons complement the gameplay. Like they make the gameplay better. Or like the gameplay is the reason you got into the gacha in the first place. You know what I mean? Like sometimes it's interchangeable, sometimes it's not one or the other. This isn't like a black and white conversation, it's a grey one. You know what I mean? Me personally, I do think gacha games are objectively bad, but you could argue using the word objective in a conversation that's opinionated is just wrong from the start. I get that. Me personally, I do agree with the sentiment that I do think they're bad, but you know. And again, the big thing to take away from this video, if you're going to take anything at all, brand IP matters a lot. In fact, I actually want to ask Twitch chat and YouTube comments, is there any gacha game that you tried that wasn't reliant on the IP? I really want to know, because I feel like the answer, I feel like I'm either going to get no one or barely anyone is going to say that they played a gacha game for the gacha game and not the IP. I don't know. I feel like that's next to impossible. I don't know. I feel like no one's gonna say that. But you know, just to round this out or whatever. Content creation, fair enough. Okay. You know what? We actually reached the end of these replies. We didn't read everything, but we didn't. I'm sorry that if I didn't read your reply, but there's actually quite a few that were going on in the middle of this. But you get the point. I didn't go through all 100 replies, but we went through more than I thought that I would. This recording's 40 minutes, so I'm just gonna call it there. But yeah, like, comment, and subscribe, my people. Let me know what you thought. Hopefully this was just interesting to you. Hopefully this was a nice little relaxing conversation for you to listen to. Nice bit of a back and forth, just like kind of understanding where people are coming from a bit better. Because again, I am someone who doesn't really like gacha games. I'm not really a mobile gamer in general. I much prefer console games, you know what I mean? And just generally, I don't like luck-based stuff, you know what I mean? And gacha games are very reliant on luck, you know what I mean? I don't like heavy amounts of grinding, you know? Like, a lot of these trademark gacha game things, I don't like. And even though, like, summoning can be fun, there are times where if I'm doing it too much, I get frustrated because it's like, if I don't get what I want, then it just becomes really annoying because it's like I'm wasting my time, I have nothing to show for my time, and I value my time, I don't like wasting it, you know, just stuff like that. I don't know, that's just my opinion on gacha games personally. I'm not really a big fan. Now, do I play them? Yeah. Would I play them if I wasn't streaming and doing this? No. That's the key thing to take away, I wouldn't. I feel like the only one that has a chance is Legends, because remember, I did play it that way for the first 2 years. After that, I was kind of put off. Like, Legends is a 6-year-old game now. I quit during the 2nd anniversary, you know what I mean? Yes, I came back during the 5th, and then it was on and off ever since, but the whole point is that gacha games never really keep me. Now, I haven't played much In fact, I'm pretty sure I've only played 3. Legends, Dokkan, and Duel Links. But, you know. And the same things frustrate me for all of them. So, you know. That's just me. That's just my opinion. But I do understand other people's opinions too. Brand IP is important. I wouldn't play these types of games if it wasn't my favorite characters on the screen. The fact that they're low effort, you can just slap them on the background or like, you know, just stuff like that. Cool. The fact that they're just mobile games, you know what I mean? The fact that you can just play them anywhere and just engage with them at any point. The collecting aspects, I get that. The thrill, you know what I mean, of gambling and all that, I understand it, but please be careful. I'm against gambling, but you know, if you're free to play, cool, whatever, do your thing. If you go indulge and satisfy your crave in a more safe way than going to a casino, then there you go, right, cool, whatever. But yeah, have a great rest of the day, my people. Take care, stay safe, and let me know if you want me to do more stuff like this in the future where I just make these tweets and I just go over the replies and we just, you know, share our opinions on stuff. I feel like I've been pushing the Twitter side a little bit more because I feel like this is a good way for you guys to get involved a little bit more and just have us talk. But yeah, have a good day, my people. Take care. Goodbye.